Insert it from the back. Pause.
Huh? Wait, what's wrong? Why are you off again? What the fuck?
What is good, beautiful people? Welcome back to another video. As you guys can see, the car has been put together. No, it's not finished yet, but I've completed the most difficult, well, to me, the most difficult and the most challenging part of this process, which is the headlight. Also, shameless plug, if you are looking for icon style headlights, hit me up. I'm your plug. Now, as you guys know, this car is actually an F31 wagon. So naturally, it comes with F30 headlight and front end. So F32, F80, F82, F83 headlights do not work. Even though on the market there are many plug and play solutions to upgrade your headlight to, let's say, from halogen to HID to whatever icon style. But unfortunately, there is no plug and play solution to upgrade or to change F31 and F30 headlights to 3280, 8283 headlights. So I had to do some research, and luckily I found this person on eBay, and this is what he sells. He also custom makes many other retrofit harnesses. Though this is not a plug and play solution, but this is the only thing that I thought that works for me. And I was right. It worked. So if you are trying to do something unique, whether it's like me, trying to do an F80 swap on your F31 or doing an F32 swap on your F30, I think that'll look pretty dope. I'll put his eBay store link and his Instagram in the description below. Hit him up and see if he can make you a retrofit harness kit. Starting from the back, we gotta remove some trims, some panels to expose this thing. Well, first things first, I will recommend you to disconnect the battery so that you don't accidentally short anything or pop any fuse. Open the trunk, remove the carpet. Underneath you'll find fuse box, this one. Remove 10mm bolt that holds in place fuse box and flip it upside down. That's where the 10mm bolt's at. Locate the blue socket and lift up red tab, which is where my pinky is pointing at. This one. Do not lift up this one. See the diagram? It should be next to a white socket. This is the base model, I don't have it. Remove socket and insert to slot number 2 provided in the packet. This is what he's talking about. The red wire with spring, the leaf connector. There is definitely some grammar errors, but what he's trying to say is lift this off, remove the socket, and then just push this into pin number 2 location. You will find a label in the harness. Now, step 1 is done. Flip it. We're going into step 2. Route the wire behind the right backseat trim, which I routed directly through there. I popped this panel off. Don't mind the mess. I'm just gonna show you what I did. So I route the wire underneath this. I also removed the seat, this trim, and this trim. So they all have to come off for you to hide and also protect the wire. So this is the trim right next to the back seat, which is this piece. And this is here, this one, next to the passenger side front seat. Now, next, remove the bottom panel under the dashboard, passenger footwell. It says you need to undo 2 10mm screws and then pull it down. Unclip cigarette lighter interior wiring harness. This is for the interior light wiring harness, and remove the panel. So this is the cigarette lighter connector, and that is for the interior light. You disconnect that, disconnect that. 2 10mm nuts. One goes in here, one goes in here. Remove the right side panel to get access to fan module. Just pull the panel off as it held in by clips. Locate the rubber grommet behind the dashboard. You will have to drill a hole in it so you can route wires to the engine compartment. Now, this requires 185% of your patience. So whatever calms you down, grab yourself a drink, open up a beer, light up a cigarette, smoke a joint, whatever that calms you down. Do that before you get to the firewall. Well, for me, I just drank a whole lot of boba. Now, that is the hole that he's talking about. Now, flip the page. This is what it should look like in the engine bay. Now you can sort of see how the red power wire and the twisted Ken wires came out of the grommet. It came out of there and then came all the way around the shock tower. I zip tied it along the chassis harness, and then it comes down into the headlight. Remove the cap from the right headlight connector and locate the wire at the hole 5. So yeah, hole 5 is here. To remove existing wire, lift up the tab at both sides first. I already lifted them up. So you can use a flathead screwdriver or a pick to lift up from both sides. And then you either get a key or a thin flathead screwdriver, insert it into the top hole, press it down, and then you should be able to, there you go, remove the wire. This is how you DPN a wire. And then you replace this wire with the red wire. Same orientation, the open end facing upwards. You just insert it from the back, pause, there, and give it a little tug once you think it's in, and if it's not coming out, it's in. Now, according to the menu, at the same time, push out 2 dark blue rubber grommets that are plugging up the pin 9 and 10. You will connect their Kent line twisted yellow wires. We're gonna push out these 2 grommets. All right, now if you notice there's some extra wires coming out of this connector, well, that's because this is a new one that I bought from eBay. What happened to the old one? Well, I fucked it up. On this instruction, it says push out 2 dark blue rubber grommets that are plugging up the pin 9 and 10, right? I look at these 2, I was like, all right, I'm gonna push it out. And then I push it out from the back, literally. I had a brain fart. It is what it is. Anyways, I tried my best to then push it out from the front, and it didn't work. So I just had to get a new one. All you need to do is stick a DPNing tool, the thinnest one, poke it in through the middle sideways, and then just lift that up. And then push out also rubber grommet from holes 4 and 7. So yeah, you're doing the same for hole 4 and hole 7, but I think this is model specific, or there's another grammar error. Hole 4 and but for my car, hole 4 and 7 were both occupied. So I just DPN'd both 4 and 7, insulate the existing wires, and then use the wire he provided, which is like a Y-shaped wire. Goes together and then goes in all the way to this ground board. I don't know what you call it. Over here you will need some picks, some thin flathead screwdriver, some big flathead screwdriver, and some brute force. Do the same procedure for the other headlight plug. Here comes the fun part. Left and right headlight CAN2 wires. It comes like that. Right. Locate fan module. The socket will be covered by a black plastic cover. Undo the screw and remove the cover and sockets A173 2B 42-pin black socket and A173 8B 54-pin black socket. Most likely your car will already have CAN2 line. You definitely do. Therefore, you should bridge provided wires using 2 micro connectors with existing wires. CAN2 high is a yellow wire with red, and CAN2 low is a yellow wire with brown. Now, here you can choose either the socket A173 8B or A173 2B. Then finally, pull out wire gray or violet from the pin 50 of the plug A173 3B. It is this black plug with a white tab. Same thing, you just need to use a DPNing tool, unplug it, and then plug it back into pin 32 at the same socket. As to the left headlight harness, route 2 twisted wires above the center tunnel under the dashboard. So I just use a piece of electric tape to, keep them together. And then I used a long zip tie just to get it underneath the tape like that, and then literally just pushed it through the dash from over there. Yep. Now once you get that wire over the trans tunnel through the dashboard, you can pour yourself another drink, smoke another cigarette, smoke another blunt, because now we're drilling holes on the firewall again. But this time was actually pretty easy for me. I'm pretty sure it's because I've done that 3 times already at this point and I got a hang of it. Locate in the driver footwell compartment black grommet and drill a hole so you can route this wire from the cabin into the engine bay of the car and to the headlight socket. Make sure the drill bit doesn't go through too far because you're gonna drill through some other stuff. In both headlight sockets, remove blank rubber grommets from pin 9 and pin 10. We already mentioned that earlier. Pull them out, pick them out, do not push them in. Please don't be like me. And insert into the empty slots 2 twisted Can-2 harnesses. The wire that goes into pin 9 is Can-2 high, yellow and red, and pin 10 is Can-2 low, yellow and brown. Also underneath this is a contact and his number. Pause it, screenshot it, shoot him a message, tell him he's a genius, because he really is. He actually helped me code the whole headlight as well. I'm gonna show you that in a second. With all of that being done, if you are not as dumb as me, by that I mean if you didn't forget to plug in the blue socket in the trunk, your headlights should work properly, though it might throw some codes, so you still need to contact him to get your headlights coded. And his price is actually very reasonable. And you just need to buy this in OBD2 line. I bought this from Amazon. I'm gonna put the link in the description below as well. Why is it not turning on? What the fuck? What the hell? Why? It doesn't make sense.
A few moments later.
So I did something else just to make sure if the headlight was the issue or my wiring was the issue. And turned out it was my wiring. Step 1, you are supposed to pop this panel up and then get this blue connector out to connect the red wire for power, right? I forgot to plug this one back on. That's completely on me. Hopefully, with everything that I've just done, this can function properly. If it doesn't, I'd be really upset at myself. Oh, okay, so, okay. Wait, what's wrong? Why are you off again? What the fuck? There it is, see? It's on. See, it turned on? It turned on. It just turned on. I think it's the voltage. I really think it's the voltage. I'm gonna let it run for a little bit. All of the error codes are gone. Now if I plug this one in, yep, it's on. Perfect. All right. I got light. No, fuck. What? 11 error codes. Something is not right. All right. Error codes are gone. Going back to 3, 2. All right. Okay, so my suspicion is right. The voltage went back up. Now this side headlight is on. I'm gonna let it run for a little longer to see if that's the issue. Because now the error code's down from 11 to 2. And 2 error codes, one is for the hood and one is for the door. All right. I'm not mad. I think I fixed the issue. Kind of, sort of. All right, we'll come back to it.
What the fuck? Why is, what the? The air coats came back and went away. What the fuck? And bro, you can't play with me like that. I'm very fragile right now. Huh? Okay, use my common sense. Use my common sense. This has to be a battery voltage issue. Has to be. There it is. No, it's only the passenger side. Driver's side is off. Bro, I'm lost. I thought they're connected somehow. All right. All right. I think we're on the right track. Finally. All right, I'm gonna let the battery charge for a couple more hours while I gently move this car back a little bit so I have more room to put the front end together. Whew, oh yeah, I'm excited. Hell yeah. So yeah, after all that, my F80 front end swap is officially finished. And this is what it looks like. Though you can't really tell in the video, flashing the high beam 5 times will change the DRL from white to yellow. Now with the wiring jobs finally done, headlights functioning, and the whole front end all together, in the next video we are fixing this horrendous body panel fitment. It looks so bad from this angle. It's somewhat acceptable from like 5 feet away, but I want this car to look good, and I want this car to be somewhat of a demo car for my wheel company. So yeah, I need this car to look as perfect as possible. But that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.